So let's start our final lab, which will utilize everything we have done before and combined with JavaFX UI interface, create a rectangle bar chart for our store cells on JavaFX interface. So there are 5 questions. And the first 2 are mostly for demo. I will provide you with the following code with the JavaFX framework. I will explain that. Then we will create a class rectangle example. You will create this in your environment by copying the following the code. And the code is already ready. So all you need to do is to add and adjust package name and class name if necessary. Then you will change the length, position, the color of the rectangles to see the effect. Then you will create a class inherited from this bar chart class from lab, where you will add fields of rectangle. But this rectangle is from JavaFX, and color, which is also from JavaFX. Then you will add a constructor which will accept the cell's name. In the constructor, you need to initialize rectangle to be an empty rectangle and initialize the color to be yellow. So far, these are the regular FX, regular object creation. Of course, then you need to create accessor field method for the 2 fields. These 2 are immutable. Once you change, I'm sorry, these 2 are not immutable, but they will be changed not by mutator, but by the add store cells method. So you will override the add store cells method so that after cells is properly recorded, width, rectangle's width equals to store cells divided by 10. Then, if store cells is greater than 800, set color to be red. If it's greater than 300, set color to be green. Otherwise, if it's less than 300, it should remain yellow. And finally, you should create a static field in the rectangle examples code. Okay, so this part is a regular class creation. It looks a kind of lot, but basically you are just adding 2 fields, initializing them in the constructor, and override a add store cells method so that after cells is changed, you will change the length and size and the color. Then once you create this class, you will create a static field in the JavaFX example code. This one you will just create it in the first question. In the main method, initialize the field to an instance of the class we just created, the bar chart class we created. We will initialize the cell's name and add some value. Update the star method to remove the reference to rectangle 1 and the rectangle 2. These are whatever comes with the original code. So you will remove certain part in original code. Instead, you will use the store cells bar chart FX to display the rectangle. Okay, so this will initialize a class with proper rectangle definition and color definition. Then you will utilize this in a JavaFX framework to display a rectangle. Then the 4th question is enhancement of 3rd question. You will change the field to an array of the store cells bar chart FX objects. Then you will change the star method to go through the elements and draw each and every rectangle. In the main method, utilize the code from the main method of this selection sort we used to have. This code reads the cells data from a text file and initializes an array of store cells bar chart objects. You will need to change the array data type And don't implement selection sort yet. But then you will, once you start the main method, it should go through the elements of the array and draw the rectangles. Then you will implement selection sort. On the fifth question, you will implement the selection sort before drawing the UI. You will need to copy the selection sort method and change the array data type to store cells. Once you sort them, you will display the rectangle. So before we go into these questions, let me show you the JavaX code, which I have the original code here. It's called rectangle example, and you will need to change your package name. And you can see that it imports a bunch of JavaFX items. It starts with a main method, which calls a launch method. This launch method will actually this launch method will call the star method in turn. So you don't see launch method definition here, but you do see a star method definition here, because main will call launch and launch eventually will call star. Calling star method will create a group and a scene and the star method comes with a stage. So if you look at, let me bring up a Paint, our old friend Paint. So if you look at a screen, any kind of, it will be like this, stage. Stage comes with this, basically, it's like this window. And on top of stage, you have scene. Scene is a smaller window in the stage. And of course, this is stage. And inside scene, you can have a bunch of elements. Here, 1, 2, maybe a circle of some sort. And they all belongs to a same group. Let me draw this. How do I do a no fill? So this is a stage contains things, and things contains groups. Groups contains different components. Similarly here, let's look at backward. Eventually you will show the stage, but before you show the stage, you want to set the scene. And you will create the scene by getting from the root, which is a root group. So, and you can see that root get children add. As we go through this, you can already see how it works. We are passing in a stage. Actually, that's a JavaFX framework will create the GUI window, just like this window, right? And your job is to set scene, set some kind of a scene stage information. And in order to create the scene, you need to create a group. And once you create the group, you can add elements, rectangle 1, rectangle 2 to it. So this is the rectangle, 2 rectangles that I draw. One is red, one is green. And you can see here, one is red, one is green. And they have the same widths, same height. So height is both are 10. And set width, one is 300, one is 200. Now, set X and Y is the starting point of where this will be drawn. So this picture, this thing, this group actually, Let me clean this up, then bring this up and clean this. Let's forget about stage and scene. Just talking about group. Let me move this. So this part, we have set X and the set Y, right? X, this is X axle. And this is Y axle. So when I set, and here, this point, this is 0, 0. I should have used text. Let me move this up first, save some space. And this spot is 0, 0. How do I move it out? Oops. Starting with X. So it's X and Y, both are 0, which is here, this point. So when I draw here, when I draw a rectangle here, where I specify this is 20, 20. This point is 20, 20. Then I will, when I want to draw a second one, I will define this part as 20, 40, 40. Here, this point, the X is 20. Where here, the Y is also 20. It's not proportional, but I think you should get the point. And here, Y is 40. This point is 20, and this point is 40, right? So in order to draw a series of rectangles, you will keep the same height and the same X, but keep on adding the height, the Y position, starting with the X, 20, then 40, then 60. Exactly how many depends on your drawing need. For here, I set array height as 10 and the increment 20 one at a time. But for you, you can change based on your requirement or your desire. Okay, so this is how you are going to handle this large chunk of work by introducing the code first. And you can play with the length, position, X and Y, and the color to see the effect. Once you get familiar with it, you will create this class by inheriting from the store sales bar chart, and then implement this store sales bar chart in the rectangle example. Then question 4, you will start drawing a series of bar charts.